Hi, I'm Colleen Kelly and I can't wait to show you my latest work. We've been filming all over America and we're going to be filming all over the world, so sit back, grab a cup of tea, put your feet up and enjoy my latest work. So here we are today at Jennifer Krogler's beautiful, beautiful property here in Sorrento in Florida, and it's winter up in Chicago and the storms are flying up there, so we've come down here to get out of the snow and to meet some people down here and have a look at some of the riding issues down here. Now we're about to meet Jennifer, and Jennifer told me before that she'd really like to work on her hands, and I've got many ways of solving hand issues. Probably about 5 or 6 really of them are the best that I could possibly show you. And oftentimes it's a surprise. Oftentimes we're not just working on hands. Sometimes we'll work on the lower part of the body to give the rider something a little bit more stable. But in this exercise, we're going to have a look at what I call the magic spot, to find a certain spot to see what it does to the horse, and a certain spot. And in that, it takes the rider's attention off, oh, I have bad hands, I've got to fix my hands, I've got to do X, Y, Z with my hands. All of that is gone. All the rider then thinks about is, I just got to keep that still. Well, that's pretty easy. Now I've got to keep that still. Now I've got to add in this one later on, right? And eventually you keep them both still and it builds and builds and builds. So let's go and have a look at a really cool short session that I call the magic spot. I think that's what the army teaches you, is rhythm. What the police forces teach you is rhythm. Rhythm. Because while you and I are thinking, number 1, don't die, number 2, don't die, number 3, let's get control, number 4, do I still look halfway decent, right? What we should be thinking of is 1, 2, 1, 2, no matter what, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because, you know, the dressage lot are military, right? It comes from the army. And they need to wake up their horses at 5 o'clock one morning unexpected and just go to war, right? And the horse has to be with all the other horses. You can't run in front of the other horses or get lagged behind. And during that time, they realise the importance of this regularity. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, for example, in the trot. And how precious it is and how hard it is to do, right? And how the horses will argue against it, going, oh, look over there, I don't want to do 1, 2, 1, 2, all this kind of stuff, right? So what I'm going to do is ask you just to do a couple of trot circles here for me, and we're going to just become more aware of your hands. Right? You might want to think you've got big expensive rings on, or flippy rings or bangles or something. Now, by the way, I'm a bit of a jewelry junkie. I love jewelry, but they're all split here. That one's split, so if it catches in the fence, it just come off, which it did actually the other day in the cold in Lexington. It fell off, and all of these things will just break, and the same with you. But I want you to pretend that you've got like a couple of bells on your fingers, okay? All right? So just go and do trot circles. Don't think about too much. And just becoming aware of what the sound your hands would make. And this is a beautiful mare. She's 7 years old, yes? Yeah, and Oldenburg, American Oldenburg breeding, and really fancy, very pretty in lots of ways, and only young like that, 7. You've got many years ahead. So let's go off into trot. Overachiever. I always laugh. I'm like, hey, listen, honey, you can give us 90% and I'd be happy with 80. What are you doing 126 for me? And that happens all the time. Now, what I want you to do, we're going to assess what happens. Let's say, for example, you've got a bell on your middle finger on your right hand. And what I want you to do is I want you to put that somewhere that's still, on the wither, or on your leg, or on the saddle, or something or another, for about 2 laps. And just plant that bell on the, just gentle, just like that, and just leave it there. Very quiet. Just all you're doing is concentrating on that middle finger and that bell. And you might want to hang on to something. Some of the bigger horses are hard. Tuck a finger under something. So long as you're safe, don't break it on me. and just observe what happens to the horse's head. Right? Now put it on some other spot, 2 or 3 inches away from that, on an exact other spot. And now what happens to the head? And yeah, it comes down. We're liking that. We're liking that. Because half of our problems on the planet is that they raise their head. Well, it's not that the nose is out. Don't worry about that so much. Is that it's too high. Worry about the height more than worry about the length. We'll worry about the length later. In fact, extension is good. Come and have a rest. Come and have a rest. Give her a cuddle. Give her a cuddle. With a good horse. You're not meant to like love all over your horses. I'm complete failure with that because I love all over my horses all the time. But my saint loves me, so we're a good pair. What did you observe in that? We had 2 spots. You put it here, you put it there, and there was a very different reaction in the horse's head.
Well, in both situations, she got more steady.
Yeah, she got more steady.
My hand was steady. She was more steady.
Yeah,
the
and
second spot, which was a little bit farther back and more toward my hip.
Yeah.
She became softer and a little bit more round, not.
So we're going to do this exact same exercise on the left rein. And what I want you to do, because it's a lovely day for riding today, and it's in the middle of winter, everybody's bailing out of the snowstorms up in the north in Chicago. Do you know Chicago again is going to be colder than the North Pole? So was Lexington, Kentucky the other day. So she's got a little hair from winter. Hi, darling. She's got a little hair from winter, and see that there might be a dot here or a dot there, or the join here or the join here. And I want you to discover, if I put the rein there, what does it do? If I put the rein there, what does it do? If I put the rein there, what does it do?
Okay.
If I put the, now, you can only do this in trot. You mustn't ever do it in walk, you mustn't ever do it in canter, because in walk and canter you're following the movement, right, with your hand. But in trot, the horse's head's meant to be just still, right? It's not meant to move up and down. So we can plant things. Right now, it's not to say we're planning it, but it's just like almost just steady and sophisticated, just kind of cool. Can I have a little play on the other end? So we're on the left this time. Sometimes I just send people out and I just say, oh, go the other way, because I've forgotten which way we were going. Sometimes just up there, give her a cuddle, right? Sometimes just set up very elegant. And imagine you're the Queen of England and there are 4,227 cameras on you. And all I want you to do is just ask with your hands and just leave it there. And we're going to count to 30. 29, 28, 27, 26. Look at her thinking. 25, 24, 23, 22. Just keep her head very gentle, straight, very gentle. And just keep the little tiny, oh, well done, and get the heck out of there and give her a cuddle, well done. It's a patience game, it's like chess. Now, I have never in my life had a horse resist more than 20 seconds. Isn't that weird? Because that's what dressage says. You can't have your horse resist more than 20 seconds, otherwise you're out, they kick you out, you're eliminated. But I've never seen it happen where a horse resists the rein back from the bridle for more than 20 seconds. Now there's 5 or 6 or 7 wonderful ways to rein back. One's from the leg, one's from the hand, one's from the body, one's from being dead clever and almost shuffling the back legs backwards. I'm not real good at that. I know how it's done, but I'm still not real right at that one. One is from a breastplate around the front of the shoulders, and you pull that out a bit, and that's your preparation for riding bridleless, or a string around their neck. They're all valid rein backs in different circumstances, depending on which vertebra you want to be moving where. That was a lovely breath. The horse just went, right, and licked his lip and stick his nose out. Do you know what's the number one thing we're judging in free walk? Regularity. What an excellent answer. You're 100% right. Just unbelievable how clever they are down here in Florida. Regularity. Regularity is you walk into music. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Am I a good singer? No, what fun it is to steal the hubcaps off the sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give you some music to play with at home. Well, you are home in this beautiful place, Sorrento, Florida. Absolutely gorgeous. Another big breath as the horse came away from P. Did you notice that the horse breathed at the same spot? Yeah. Right, he did it there, or she did it there, and she did it there again, twice, right? So we know we've got like some good bits going on here. So you play with that good bit, you know, that's where you might try shoulder in, that's where you, or sometimes extension, depends, you know, depends on the horse. So let's go and see this rising trot. This is hundreds of hours of research has gone into this short session, hundreds of hours. Now, all it took was for me to one day think, I wonder what happens if I put my hand there and leave it there and just don't let go, right? Oh, I wonder what happens if I put it 1 inch lower. But now, you know how we're asking her to lower her head? Now if our hand's just down there in trot, she'll do it on her own, which is self-carriage, which is the ultimate. That's the dream. We start asking the horse's head in the beginning, and then eventually the horse just gives it to you. So find a spot, a lucky spot, and put the middle finger, the bell, put it on that lucky spot and plant it fairly tight. Not tight on her mouth, but tight on the saddle or tight on your leg. You want to do a crazy one? Put your left hand and left rein on your left kneecap. You want to head low? That's how to get it low. Isn't that cool? All right, now put it somewhere else. Put it in your belly. Put your left hand a little bit in your belly. See, that's more flexion. Put your left hand more on the wither. That's more, give me your left ear. Give me your left nostril, please. Put your, this is a funny one, your left thumb, you obviously think I've got more time on my hands at home to do crazy things. Put your left thumb in the left side of your boot. I know you better be careful at home, you lot, if you're listening to this. Left side, right in your boot, bend down, come on. Remember those pony club days? See what happens to a head? Might you ever want that for free walk a little bit? And now rest, rest, cuddle, 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 cuddle. Did you enjoy that? Isn't that unreal? Yeah. It's like opening the door to go, oh my goodness, here's another 1,000 tools. Because I don't know how many spots you've got all over your horse, but mine's like, in my mind, a little Appaloosa, right? What happens here, what happens there, what happens here? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ride my horse, and I'm going to say, right, you know Dr. Karen? She does some amazing body work with horses, and she'll go, right, I want that vertebra to move. What lucky spot would that be? Oh, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't, oh, wow, something XYZ worked. Now, what's going to work with her might not work with a big cold blood, might not work with a little tiny Arabian. You start putting your hand right in the belly of an Arabian and they start, ooh, 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 panic, panic, right? Because they're so precious with their mouth. They're so light and so delicate and so lovely with their mouth. But you start putting your hand in the belly of a great big cold blood clunky, they don't even feel you, right? They don't even know you're up there half the time. So that was a lot of fun of how to fix your hands fast, how to fix the horse's head fast, very gentle, very kind, didn't fuss, didn't make it happen. You just almost ignored it. Yeah. Just ignored it. It just, that side rein, if you like, went on in a nice and friendly way, in a friendly game, going, I don't care what you do. Yeah, she wasn't offended at all. She wasn't offended at all. She's like, and started to move with a silent head. Right? If she had bells on her mane in the beginning, it was a little bit ringy, right? But in the end, it was started to be silent, and how fast it was, right? You just had to change the horse, quick as lightning. All right, well, thank you. That was a lot of fun. So I just wanted to show you how quick it could be. Now, Jennifer and I met this morning, or did we meet before? This morning, right? But I've definitely not worked before together, no. And here she is in beautiful Sorrento in Florida. I want you to see how quick it can be if you just know a couple of simple tests to go, I don't care what they say, I don't care what their opinions are out there, I'm going to put that there and see what does the horse actually do. And then I'm going to put it here. What does the horse actually do? Not me sitting in the corner going, put your hand a little higher, put your hand a little in, put your hand a little out, because guess what? I'm on a plane tomorrow. I'm out of here. So you got to figure out all these wonderful magic spots down your body, down the horse, different places, sometimes in the air for some of the higher movements. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's lots more to come.